If I was to ask you about your most embarrassing moment in public, what would pop right into your mind? Think about yours. Tim Hicks will tell us his this week in the Country Music Update. I'm Greg Reynolds. First, we say congratulations to Jessi Moscalo's new album, The Demos, is out. I talked to her a little bit about the album and the duet that she cannot wait for you to hear.
So back in 2019, I had my very first Australian shows, and I needed to find an Australian band so that I didn't have to travel. I mean, I would have loved to travel with my own, but it's a lot of work to get visas and expensive. So I thought, you know what, let's dive in with both feet here, and we'll do the full Australian thing with an Australian band. So I got connected through a mutual friend of Travis and mine, whose name is Phil Barton, who we both write with. He's Australian as well. And he connected Travis and I saying, hey, I think that you guys have similar styles enough so that your bands would work together. So Travis was kind enough to let me use his band for my shows. And Travis was also on the same shows. So I heard his voice and was completely blown away. It's like smoky and husky and raspy, but so powerful. And
Smoky
I
and
was
husky,
like,
that was me in high school.
Speaking of new music, Pearce has a new album out today, 29. It's raw, it's emotional. If you want to know what she's been going through in this past year, just listen. This is like a therapy session in your ears, and I'll be talking to her next week, and we'll have more on her with this album in next week's Country Music Update. I cannot wait. She's one of my favorite people to chat with. We found more love, if that was even possible, this week for Dolly Parton. She said thanks, but no thanks to a Tennessee lawmaker that said, we're going to do a statue of Dolly. She's like, there's way more important things going on right now. If you want to remember me, do it when I'm gone, but focus on more important things right now, which is going to make them say, we love Dolly even more. Let's do another statue. But honestly, every time she hits the news, we just fall more and more and more in love with Dolly. You may have seen a bunch of your favorite country stars in a blanket of snow that's been covering Nashville this week, and Randy Houser found a great way to at least enjoy what's been happening. And finally, what is your most embarrassing moment in public? Tim Hicks has a fantastic new song out called The Good, the Bad, and the Pretty, all inspired by those fantastic times at small town bars. Well, except for this one not so great time.
This is both awesome and one of the most embarrassing things that's ever happened to me at the same time. So I was playing, and it came to mind because I just was doing an interview with a station in Windsor, Ontario, which is a place I used to play. And we used to play up on this perch. So we were above the audience, and it got really hot up there. And one night I overheated, like a hockey player would overheat. And what happens when you overheat? You throw up. So I threw up on stage while we were playing. So I knew it was coming, and I managed to hang on. In those days, we ended the night with "Gimme Shelter" by the Rolling Stones, and I was playing bass in this particular band, and I finished the singing part, and I knew it was coming, and I walked back next to the drummer's hi-hat, and I knelt down, and I just started throwing up all over the place, and it was just water, from the gig, but still. And he's playing like this. He's like, hey. Full on band's playing. Audience is dancing. Solos happening. He's playing. Hey, are you throwing up? That's awesome. That's awesome. And I'm still playing like, yeah, blah, 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 blah. Because you couldn't, the show must go on, right? And so I was like, end the song. He's like, what? I'm like, end the song. He's like, okay. It ends the song. So we finish, and I'm like, I'm mortified. So I have to tell the bar staff now, who are my friends, because I played there for years. Hey, I threw up. I'm really sorry. And you know what they did? They handed me a mop. Here you go. Take care of it. So I had to mop.
You made the mess, you clean the mess, buddy. That's how it works over here.
I did.
Puking on stage and then cleaning up your own stuff. That is why I love talking to Tim Hicks. He's got some of the best stories in the industry. For more country music news, make sure you subscribe to this YouTube channel. I'm Greg Reynolds with another Country Music Update.